Welcome back to the WatchTower Film Podcast, the film review podcast on the Towercast Network by Cinephiles for Cinephiles. Thank you guys for joining us on this week's show. We're continuing our Oscar series. We're leading up to the Oscars, the 97th Academy Awards, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
Happening on March 2nd. We don't get paid for talking about them, and we don't get paid for talking about us either, but here we are. March 3rd, while we're on the topic, March 3rd, we will be going live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just search Tower Productions. On TikTok, search Towercast Network.
And for the first time ever, AliExpress. True fact.
We'll be going live at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, El Paso time. Make sure to tune in. Let us know your thoughts on what happened at the Oscars. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Come join us.
We're all gonna
Did your
disagree,
TV not work during the Oscars?
Yeah.
You just kind of
did it split out like the Sopranos ending? Let us know. You don't know what happens. No one knows what happens. That's kind of the thing.
I knew what happened.
Let us know what you thought. Tune in, comment on all platforms. We'll be checking in on everything and seeing you guys talk about it. Before that, our Oscars preview comes out next Monday. Next Monday, we'll be releasing our Oscars preview episode, which basically we're going to cover every single one of the 10 Best Picture nominees for the 97th Academy Awards. If you don't know the nominees, go check them out. We don't want to waste your time by doing that tonight.
So you don't have to watch it.
Yeah, basically. We spend anywhere from like 15 to 20 minutes talking about each of the Best Picture nominees, give our thoughts, and then that'll lead us into the actual Oscars.
I got a lot of thought.
Do you? Do you have a lot of thought about the film we're going to cover today? Because I'm not going to introduce it yet. I'd rather introduce my fellow co-host, Mr. Michael Delau, offering his cinematography perspective.
Yo, it's Mike on the mic, packing where I'm lacking. How you doing?
How does it feel you can hear your voice now?
Oh my God, it makes me feel so powerful.
Yeah.
And like now I just want to hear myself more.
Yeah, welcome to my world, buddy.
Oh, you never wear headphones.
I know,
I'm the guy that used to wear the headphones.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, what was your original intro?
Huh?
Packing where I'm lacking.
Yeah,
No.
On the big O.
No, dang it. I forgot the first part. I just
whacking where I'm stacking. I don't
whacking
know.
where I'm stacking, packing where I'm lacking. Michael Della, how you doing?
Cinematographer, fellow cinematography connoisseur, also makes a damn good cup of coffee.
Damn.
Mr. John Eric Oster offering an acting perspective.
And an acting connoisseur as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
the acting connoisseur of the show. Doesn't make a good pot of coffee.
What?
I don't know.
Never tasted my coffee.
I mean, I don't know if you do.
Yeah.
You might. Shit, I don't know. Behind the camera, we have Mr. Austin Young, our producing and editing perspective, fellow production producer and
a little cranky
fellow
today,
editor, and a little snippy today.
He's not.
No, he's pissed because this film already didn't get nominated.
Yeah,
so he's already
that's true.
He's already
This
fucking
is
feisty, son.
He bit me, bro.
He did like
I was just hungry, dude. That wasn't anger.
he pleaded in me because normally we do the what is it called?
Cinematography.
Yeah, we'll do like acting cinematography, but when we knew what our schedule was going to look like, and he was like, "No, I need
I
a
offered him
spot."
cookies.
Good.
Yep,
Now, did you eat the cookies?
I love the cookie.
So did the two guys in this film.
I
Do you
love
want to go
lamb.
play some tennis?
Oh,
I did it all for the nookie. The nookie.
But yeah, he pleaded
Stick it up your...
that we.
Sorry, I got into it.
He pleaded to you that we do.
Yeah, he's like I don't care whose spot I'm taking, but we need to talk about challengers because it was the biggest.
Do we really?
Snub. Yes.
I'm curious. What would you have picked?
What would I have picked?
You know, I'm with you.
I don't know.
I'm just curious.
Probably Zorba the Greek. Or,
Fuck off.
Why?
No,
What's
we're
wrong
good with
with that one?
challengers. I don't know what the fuck Zorba the Greek is. First of all,
It's a film.
where?
I got the soundtrack.
Jamie, bring it up.
On vinyl.
We also have Mr. Eric Nunez, our fellow producer for the pod,
Hello.
Towercast
Dang.
producer.
He's that CK with that C.
And-
He's switching and bitching today.
And I should always mention. I always try to mention this.
Today.
He didn't eat today.
It's TD.
I am on TD as well as conversation and sometimes on the board.
Oh
does
man,
TD.
he's on that erectile
Touchdown.
dysfunction.
Technical director.
Technical director. That's a good point. It's a really good point.
A
That's
man
what
of
a
many skills.
podcast producer does, son.
Technical
I should
director.
also mention, Eric is, I call him CK. CK is a fellow filmmaker, well within his own right. He's writer, director, producer.
Damn good filmmaker.
Damn good entertainment. I'm going to mention that for the first few episodes while he's rocking with us because it's fair. We're all offering some filmmaking perspective.
Thank you.
Last but not least, we have a special guest today who's joining us. He's just joining. He's just chilling in the pod.
The hostess with the mostest.
The hostess with the mostest. There
Packing where he's lacking.
Packing where he's lacking. We have Mr. Danny Nunez on set.
Danny.
The man, fellow actor, fellow filmmaker, fellow artist.
I love that
He's
guy,
been
bro.
in a couple of galleries recently.
Actually, we're going to talk about that after this. We need some pieces for a film that's coming up. So
Yeah, man.
Paint us something, bro.
yeah,
You can paint me naked, bro.
I will say that recently, just a quick little side note. Much like a 15-year-old stalking their crush, I went through your Instagram and was like looking at the different pieces you've done, and they're really impressive.
They're terrific, man.
Like super, super impressive.
Your brother was shocked that I didn't do that. I didn't go that far, but that I was paying attention to some of the stuff you guys were posting, and I was like, yo, like the hand one, the one with the hands coming in from every direction,
Or
and
like
then
the devil
sunflower
one.
one, and
That's
like
the
some of
most
the recent
recent,
ones.
yeah.
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 Oh,
So,
thank you guys.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was amazing, man. Yeah.
Let's try to post some of that.
Like, because I had told these guys before, and I tell a lot of people, like, I originally started off in painting, and I love, like, the visual art, but then I realized I'm not good at it. So then...
He's good at it with a camera.
Then that's when I switched over, and now I play with lights and much more broad strokes, but...
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, man. That was
I
You
used to
gave me a
draw.
broad stroke once. I never forgot that. That's why I made it my DP.
I used to
I don't
draw
know.
tall
I don't
shit.
think we can zoom into mine, but like I was working. You got me
Oh
inspired.
dear God.
So I
Here we
was
go.
zooming
Working on
on
this.
my
Zoom in right
rendition
here.
of Carlos, if you can see him.
Portrait.
Buff Carlos.
I just don't know how to draw pecs yet, so they look like boobs.
Can you bring it up to the camera?
Yeah, closer to the camera.
Yeah. Go.
Wait, you can catch, right?
But he can't throw
All
it.
right, baby dog.
Lovely.
He can't
Sucks at
reach
throwing
that. He's on the couch.
I know it was
Anyway.
well worth the wait.
Challengers.
Thank you guys for
Thank
tuning
you.
in today. We're going to be talking about our Oscar snub this year.
2001 Space Odyssey. Oh.
No, we're talking about Luca Guadagnino. Did I get that right? Finally,
I'll go with it.
Guadagnino. 2024
Page 3.
Challengers,
Can't miss it.
starring Zendaya, Mike Faist, and Josh O'Connor.
Mike Faist.
I like Mike Faist a lot,
Yeah.
man. Ever since West Side Story, I fucking love Mike Faist. I'd like to work with him one day. Mike Feist is a damn good actor.
Is he the blonde guy or the...
He's the blonde guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Josh O'Connor is really good too. Don't get me wrong, but I really.
But you don't want to work with him.
I thought he was the best one out of three of them.
I don't know. I like Mike Feist. I think Mike Feist has got something to him.
Kevin
But
Feige.
we'll talk about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Challengers.
Austin did feel that this was originally that this was a snub for editing. It didn't get nominated for editing for this year's Oscars. But then we all saw it, and I won't speak for the law or Castro, but Austin and I also felt that it got snubbed for Best Picture. Comparatively to some of the other Best
Yeah.
Picture
Well,
nominees.
here's the good question. Which one would you take out and put in?
Wicked.
Well, wait. Okay.
Next question.
Wicked instead of Emilia?
I'm gonna suck it. Next
Yes.
question. Yes.
Take Wicked out
absolutely.
and put Challengers.
But anyway,
Hands down.
that's for our Oscar
Comment.
recap episode. But Austin, tell us why you think that this was a snub, please, and thank you.
Crack an egg of knowledge on us.
What'd you say?
Crack an egg of knowledge on us.
An egg of knowledge?
Yeah.
Eggnog.
Eggnog.
I don't
Quebra
crack
los
eggs. I eat
huevos.
it with the shell.
Oh, you one of those guys.
I like a little crunch.
Oh, what's the guy from The Replacements? It was that big Samoan dude. Who
Yeah,
just,
where he
like,
just eats a bunch of deviled eggs before the game.
No, I thought he ate a bunch of like raw eggs.
No,
when he
they're
got
deviled eggs.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the replacement?
What?
Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves?
He's a replacement football coach.
John
Or no?
Favreau?
I haven't seen it. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that's right. That is Favreau.
Yeah.
He's the crazy linebacker, ex-cop guy.
All right.
Dude, you need to watch it. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's funny.
Oh my god, that's my comedy pick. I could probably add something on the list.
Dude,
We don't have it this year. Right? We don't have a comedy
No,
one.
No, we
our
don't.
personal comedy list.
Yes.
Speaking of fun, Saturday night.
Saturday night, I was telling Austin that if we
I'm
didn't
embarrassed
pick
I haven't watched that.
challengers, I would have voted for us to do Saturday night. Jason Reitman Saturday night.
Yeah.
We could have gotten them on the fucking show.
We can still get them. What do you mean?
Well,
can
you're
still
right.
do
I'm
Saturday
working on it.
night.
I'm working on it. Saturday night's a terrific
So-
picture. I thought that was a huge snub on everything.
As Austin was saying.
Austin was saying,
What was Austin saying?
In
Austin
third
was
person.
saying. Do you have a problem with Austin speaking in the third person?
"Fuck Austin."
Yeah, fuck Austin.
Yeah.
I like the city.
Hey, yo.
I must admit, I have a problem with Austin speaking without being on camera.
I am on camera. What
Is
do
he
you mean?
not on camera?
No, he cut to the camera.
We all do.
He's not on camera right now.
I am on camera. I think that Challengers is a snub. My like today I came to the conclusion about it not being a Best Picture snub just because of the other films that got nominated. But for editing, I would have put it top 2 or 3 best edited films of the year.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Behind or ahead of what?
I'd put it up there with the Nora and Brutalist.
What was it?
What are you doing? I can't. I gotta see this.
Wow.
No, fool. Don't make me come back there.
Anyways,
If you're
the
not on
editing is
camera,
beautiful.
Austin.
I am on camera. Calm down.
Don't
The
you make
editing is
him get
beautiful.
romantical and kiss you with his hot lips.
Can I
okay?
finish my thought?
Not if you're not on camera, no.
The editing on this is beautiful. It makes you feel a lot of things. It makes you feel like you're witnessing a tennis match during dialogue.
Oh man, I wish the audience was witnessing your
Yeah.
face while you said this because it's
Let the man speak.
What's one
Let the
scene
man
that
speak.
really shows off the editing? Because I saw a couple of edits that I was just like,
I think the beach scene is where you really first witness it.
when she comes over and she's talking to the both.
Yeah,
When they're
they're on the
having
beach.
that three-way
cigarette.
like talk.
Yeah,
terrific scene.
that's kind of the first one you witness, and it's kind of a thing that continues on throughout the film.
Nice.
But yeah, the editing is amazing, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. But yeah,
Uh,
All right,
Which ones are the ones that are nominated for editing?
it's a good point.
it's Nora, Brutalist, Wicked. I need to look up the other list.
How about we
Oh,
bring up
my
the
goodness.
list?
That's some pretty
we
good
have
ones
the
right
internet
there.
now.
We're gonna talk about it more for our Oscar recap episode, but
Yeah. Austin, you get to pick who goes first on our ratings.
Hold on, give me 1 sec. It's Nora, Brutalist, Conclave, Wicked, and Emilia Perez.
Okay.
Right now, for me, Nora
really
is the top.
Conclave?
Yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
seen it.
Yeah.
I take
I can
Amelia out
still
and
be
put Challengers.
surprised. I didn't think I was gonna watch
Right now,
Conclave for like
right now for me, it's a Nora, Brutalist, Emilia Perez, Conclave because we haven't seen it yet,
Sorry.
and then Wicked's like at the very bottom.
Yeah,
of the list.
Emilia Perez actually on the editing.
Yeah, the
front,
editing
like,
front's
Emilia
really
Perez,
good.
yeah.
might be
Yeah,
interesting.
there was one scene where it was
Castro,
like
you're not
penis,
allowed.
Yeah.
vagina,
Hey.
and then it changes to like a penis.
Castro, until
I'm
you
gonna
see
put my
the film,
penis and vagina on you.
Castro,
okay?
I second that rule. I'm
until
with
you see the film, you can no longer say anything
Yeah.
about
So
Emilia Perez.
penis is a vagina?
Until you see the film, you're not allowed to say anything.
Yeah.
Look, I've seen parts of it.
No,
But
That
you haven't
doesn't
seen the
count.
film.
That
No.
doesn't count. Like I had to talk to Meg because she's also like talking a bunch of mad crap about the movie. Love you, but no, but she was talking
Everybody's
crap
seen
about the
it.
movie,
Comment.
and it's like no, you need to like take the time to watch it because if you watch it out of context, then
Yeah.
yeah, there's plenty that you can cherry pick and like crap on. But like when you watch it all the way through.
Yeah, imagine somebody seeing parts of like.
When I saw parts of this, like
Yeah.
just like clips,
Yeah.
I wasn't
You thought it was
interested
like
in
a
watching.
popcorn
Yeah,
flick.
I wasn't
Wait,
interested in
wait.
watching Challengers.
You're
Castro,
telling me you never...
Castro.
Imagine
Castro.
people seeing
No,
parts of the
hold
cable
on,
guy.
hold on.
Imagine people seeing
Hold
parts of
on.
the cable guy.
Imagine watching the Super Bowl and the Patriots played the Falcons, and you turned it off at the end of the third quarter.
That's a
and you're
horrible
like,
comparison.
No. And then you were like, yeah, that game was whatever. The Falcons were going to take it. Imagine you turned that game off then.
But you're talking like Emilia's fucking...
Well, no.
Super
But,
Bowl.
but even it is. It's an Oscar nominated. It's the most
Best
Oscar nominated
picture,
film.
yeah.
Championship
Actually,
probably, but
it's
not Super
got
Bowl.
13 Oscar nominations.
And after watching
But-
it, like I think well deserved of a lot of it.
That's like, again, what if somebody who's never seen the cable guy was like, I
Okay,
saw clips
so
of it and Jim
So
Carrey
you're
is like,
so you telling me, you telling this guy
Yeah.
that you never seen a trailer or a clip or something online that make you just not want to watch it?
no.
Yeah.
I actually try to.
this guy's a real guy.
No,
I actually try to go in blindly without seeing the
No,
trailer.
all of us do, but
But
there's
I
never been
like
one that you've seen there like, oh, that's
when I watched this one.
Sure,
When
sure.
I watched this
Yeah.
one, I thought it was gonna be Zendaya flirting with two guys, and the two guys keep fighting, and
Yeah.
then they have a tennis match to win her heart. And I thought it was gonna be
Yeah.
this lame popcorn flick. But then after watching it,
Yeah.
I was so like. My world got flipped around
Look,
because
just,
I
So,
thought
give us
just
your
like
rating.
anything else,
Me?
you want to go into a film open-minded. If you've never seen it, just go into it open-minded.
I'm
And
just
if you-
vibing, but yeah,
And
yeah.
if you still don't like it, warranted,
okay.
totally valid.
So Austin has picked me to go first. This is a rare WatchTower moment.
Is it?
I never get to go first.
Do you like one first?
I just like having friends.
I
I
like-
talk.
I like hearing
He's,
the
he's
people
a
who haven't
sloppy
seen it
seconds
before.
type of guy.
You like what?
I want to hear the people who haven't seen it first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. So after coming out
Of the closet.
of
Well,
the,
no, good job,
Oh,
bro.
man, thank you, dude. We love you.
I knew it, dude.
You're so brave.
Who do I?
Who's got the over-under? We said 6 months.
I got you right now. I got you.
I owe you money now, John Eric.
I think I owe Danny though.
After coming out.
Fuck you.
You said it. I didn't say it.
Stop there.
I was building up. I
said
built
that.
That's
momentum.
why I left off where you left off after coming out.
You don't want to end in the first 2 minutes. You want to give her a show.
You know what's
like,
one of my favorite opening lines of
2
any
minutes?
film
Damn.
and books is the opening and closing line of The Outsiders.
Oh, I've heard of it.
I love it so much. As I stepped out from the darkness of the movie house, I had two things on my mind: Paul Newman and a ride home. So I think that's what you meant. After stepping out from watching the film,
Yeah. I was thinking about Paul Newman and a ride
and a
home.
ride home.
Yeah, no. After watching it, and again coming in, I think I asked Austin. I was like, "Is it good? Like, is it gonna be worth like the Oscar watch?" Because
I was with you the same.
I was talking to him about. I just recently rewatched Belfast, and
Right.
with that one, I had a moderate like Walter Mitty effect where I was like, "Oh man, I remember being nominated for Best Picture,"
Right.
but thinking like, "Oh man, it really could punch like hard. Like, it could be a good contender." And if it came out this year, I think it'd be probably lower on the list. And he was like, dude, I'm really worried to watch Challengers and have a similar effect that like it's going to have a Walter Mitty effect and it's not going to like have the right punch.
That's fair.
But watching it, even with all the dialogue that we're just chattering around the whole time, I'll give it like a 9.2.
Whoa,
Yeah.
son! All right,
It was
Stick with us, don't leave.
No,
Stay.
it was super good. Like I'm really impressed when a film's able to use all of the cinematic techniques
Yeah.
to tell a story. And I think there's some techniques like editing that can be very, very subtle. And if it's done wrong, you know it. But if it's done right, it can be good. And if it's done like this, it can be amazing. And it elevates it so much. I think the DP...
What do you think was like an example of like the editing being done right in this film?
There was a lot of moments. We've called them Scorsese cuts. I don't know if there's a better name for them, but it's any of the cuts where basically the same action is happening, either at the same angle or a slightly different angle, but it's repeating a moment. And what it does is that it re-emphasizes either a piece of dialogue or a reaction or a moment in the actor. And a lot of times people will look at it and it almost looks like a continuity error, like basically, that this person gasped, but then we cut and there's re-gasping and it's an obvious cut.
Right.
But in this film, they used it a ton, but every time they used it, it just threw you back in to that moment. It almost like tossed it in your face in the best possible way. Yeah. So every beat just like felt so punchy. And you know what's interesting is in the comparison to tennis, when like the ball hits the racket, that hit is the end of the opponent's like I guess turn, and you would feel each of the edits be that hit and then waiting to see what the next person would do afterwards. So I completely agree with Austin. This felt like a tennis match when you were just watching it back and forth. And then in the camera work, they did have a lot of sequences where there was these pans where you would go and see one person's reaction, then another person's reaction. But in this one, they would also do the same thing with cuts where, you know, you're paying attention to both sides and you're seeing like how one person has the upper hand, then the other person has the upper hand, and you're going back and forth. And it's so interesting and took so many risks and challenges. But I was thoroughly impressed. Right now I put it like a 9.2, and I think it has room to go higher because it was really, really well done. So before I take up too much time on the
because I want to circle back to you and ask you, because you felt that highly of it, how you feel the cinematography in this was, because I have some very strong opinions about the cinematography in this that I honestly I only really caught on the second screening.
Austin, who's next on the
Fidel.
Castro.
Fidel Castro.
I'm glad you said your name to remind us.
Look, I'm still growing on me.
Yeah,
Still feeling it out.
You're still growing?
yeah. He's a grower, not a
feeling it out.
shower.
No, you know what?
He proved it during the screening.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fun film.
Oh man, this guy had some shrinkage during the film, is what he's saying. Damn.
He had some cinematic shrinkage.
He had some shrinkage.
I really liked it. I like how they blended, a sports film into like this psychological,
Game.
Yeah. Especially that's coming to her character. I'm gonna talk a little bit about her character. I love how she's kind of like manipulated, but in a quiet way.
Sure.
Like all women are.
Thank you.
Yo, man, it's already a problem. We don't have a female on this podcast, and you want to go around saying that
because then we'd have a bunch of wascally women.
Wascally.
I really had to use a fun word to start that joke.
We got him back
because we lost all the female audience. Like everybody,
we'll bring him back.
We'll bring him
No,
back.
I think the acting was really good, especially from that guy O'Connor.
Josh O'Connor.
O'Connor.
Oh, dude, like the makeout scene, right?
Yeah, that's one of them. No, but I think it was a perfect blend between all three of them. I think they did really well. One thing that really stood out about this one was the score. I think it kept the pace going. Yeah, that little electronic
Trent
type
Reznor
of...
and Atticus Ross, man.
Yeah.
Usually work with Nolan, don't they?
You were talking about which one was the other one he did?
Trent Reznor, and Atticus Ross.
Trent Reznor. Yeah.
Reznor. They're actually from a band, little known band.
Yeah, I'm assuming like they've done something because that was pretty good.
It's a little small band called 9 Inch Nails.
9 Inch Nails. Just
Girl with
in
the
case you
dragon
don't know
tattoo,
9
for
Inch
sure.
Nails. No, but they slowly transitioned into, like, they did The Social Network.
They did Mank.
They did Mank. Yeah, but we
So, a
worked
lot
with
of
Fincher a lot.
films.
A lot of Fincher.
The Bear. They've done 2 episodes.
The Bear. He's a bear.
The Bear.
I thought he worked with Nolan. I could have been wrong.
Ooh, and Shogun.
I haven't seen Shogun.
If you guys have seen the way that they use the music in The Bear, oh
The
my
Bear, the
god,
Bear.
something
It's
about it
terrific.
just feels so cozy. It makes you want to fall asleep.
Terrific.
In like the best way
Well, I
possible.
mean, The Social Network, dude. That's one of my
Yes.
all-time favorite scores.
Dude.
Is The Social. It's 2 piano notes, dude.
David Fincher, Aaron Sorkin, and then these guys jam. What more could you ask for?
Is that on your rotation list? It'd be David Fincher, Aaron Sorkin.
Is this like a Dream Blunt rotation?
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman has to be in there.
Oh, yeah.
With
What about his
PTA.
son?
For sure.
PTA.
Honestly, I would, but I feel like there's other options too in this rotation. If I had to add one more, it's got to be just to see what his brain is like. It's got to be Stanley Kubrick.
Oh.
Those would be my 3.
Nah,
100%
I
agree
feel
with
like he'd kill the mood. Like he'd want to talk
No,
the
he'd
whole time.
intensify the mood.
Nah.
Think about it. You know, you'd be like, what you're talking about. Imagine that one in space and time.
No, I
And
feel
how
like
that-
feel like it'd be like, oh, you know what? That movie's great. It's like, I came up with it. That's me. Yeah.
That's kind of true. I kind of heard he is a dick. Like, or was a dick.
Or like he'd throw pigeons at you just so you freak
What?
out and then say it's your fault. Like
What?
Yeah.
That's very specific, man. Who threw pigeons at you?
I don't want to talk about it. The point is he's not on my rotation.
Anyways, sorry. So Costa, did you give it a rating?
So overall, that I give it a solid 8.3.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right.
It's okay to be incorrect.
Who else? Who's next? Me?
Oh,
I thought you said the guys that didn't see it. Or hadn't
Yeah,
seen it.
they're the only 2 that haven't.
Oh, really?
damn.
Can you do me a solid?
Oh well, no. Well, you didn't
Can
even
you
see
chuck
it.
me a little like glasses thing?
No.
Okay. Cool.
All right. I'll go next. You want me to go next or CK?
I think CK was gonna go next.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Whatever's clever.
All right, I really got to think about this rating because it's a wild movie.
Like the Wild Wild West?
Like the Wild Wild
Wild
West
Wild
was on a tennis match. So the best way, I don't know. It's got to be somewhere in the 9s, the low 9s. I'm thinking 9.1 or 9.3. Yeah, the editing is just phenomenal on it. Like that's the kind of editing that you only see once. I don't want to say once in a lifetime, but maybe once in a decade. The kind that inspires other movies.
Absolutely.
And then the score too, to be that ballsy, like dude, it's like you're walking into a nightclub every single time they hit the ball.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
and it's filled with like anger, aggression, sexual tension.
Yeah.
Like that.
Competition.
Competition for sure. But you know what? You get it when they hit the ball, sure. But also emotionally when they hit the ball.
Yes.
When they ease you in by like doing it with the game and the competitiveness, and then when they're having very intense conversations about very specific things, it's almost like an offbeat.
Mm-hmm.
It'll come in on what we think is random, but it is very keyed in on a specific word or specific sentiment, and then that music just intensifies that moment, and it's terrific. Yeah.
That's what I like about this film. Like the editing wise, it seems like it's just a bunch of blah, but the more you watch it
not.
over and over, every single little thing matters. It's
Absolutely.
insane. Every
Oh,
single,
absolutely.
And then the score is for sure one of the biggest reasons why the final match that they have at the end, you're feeling it. You
Yeah, for
feel
sure.
like you're there. You feel like you're Zendaya's character.
Yeah.
You know, you feel the anxiety that everybody's going through, and you can't wait to see how it ends.
Hmm.
And personally, I really, really like how it ends. I think it ended just right, but I know that that's a hot take
I'm
in
with
this
you.
room.
I'm with
you
you.
know?
What was your score?
Low nines.
I'll give it a 9.1. 9.3. 9.3. Let's do
9.3, all right.
Yeah.
I liked it before it ended. The way it ended, hell no.
Oh no.
John Derek.
What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you?
Yeah.
You
I
told
like
us
the
a lot
whole.
of
Like,
things.
yeah, you know what I'm doing, and you know I did her.
But that's us seeing her is the climax. Sexually, she's the one that gets off on this. Like literally gets off on good tennis. What caused good tennis? Me fucking around with both of these two. Come on.
She literally didn't sleep with one of the guys because he wasn't talking about tennis. That's
She
like,
literally stopped
yeah.
and got dressed because he didn't want to talk about tennis.
What would you do if a girl did that to you? Like, if a girl did that to
What
you?
do you mean?
Talking about
if-
tennis?
No, like their fucking banking job.
It's a
They're like, hey, you
fuzzy-ass
don't want
ball,
to hear me
baby.
talking
Yes,
about
yeah.
You know I like green balls.
True story. That's Carlos with cinema.
Oh, God.
Oh, you don't like Fellini?
Get off me.
Fuck off.
Get off.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah, that
you're too
movie-
experimental, Jan.
So did you say low nines or did you give it a score?
9.1. 9.3.
9.3.
9.3.
Yeah, yeah.
9.3.
And I
That's a
think
little high, but it's okay.
our next homie is
Me?
The big C coming up to the plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big old
Big
C.
old C.
Big C.
Yeah. C.
That's C boy.
Double C.
double
Big old
seat up on a
C.
Tuesday.
No. Double seat up on
Yeah, double cheek up
all
on a
right.
Tuesday.
He's literally double C.
Double
Big
seat up on a
C.
Wednesday. Goddamn.
From C to C.
I'm your humble film servant, Carlos de la Torre. I didn't introduce myself. I'm offering a writing, directing perspective.
Thanks.
Anyways,
Double seat up on a Wednesday.
We can cut
Double
that.
seat up on a Wednesday.
We can edit that out.
No, I never said it. I just realized it.
Yeah. I'm
anyways.
sorry. Do you, real quick, like, detraction. Do you want us to introduce you?
No, I don't.
We
no.
could, bro. We could do like a little
yeah,
rap.
yeah. Like,
This is Carlos de la Torre, our
Welcome
insight
Yeah.
on directing
Does-
and
does it
writing.
feel
It, just
good?
it feels weird.
The Tower Kid.
I don't need a.
Award-winning filmmaker. I gotta slide that somewhere. in there.
award-winning.
Best hairline.
Best beard. gotta
Best
say.
beard.
Best
the
cheeks
encyclopedia
in El Paso.
of film.
marvelous hair quoted by Doug Allen.
Doug Allen,
A cinephile who's
of
ready to
Entourage
file
thinks I have
any
good hair.
cinema.
The biggest dick. Oh, my bad.
Yo, I mean,
Tell me when to stop.
all right, guys, again.
Oh my god.
Thank you, guys, for the introduction.
He's got a really good
I
cock.
don't know, man. Oh, fucking,
It's over.
that's my rating. You know,
Yeah, okay. For anybody, including my mother, who's now watching these, who's wondering
Why did
why
you have
I no, it's because she says, "Oh, I want to like
At
show this
least-
to my friends, and like I'm gonna start
Wait
watching
20
them."
seconds
But
before the cock in your mouth
it's
comes out,
because it's in the movie. That's a line. That's a line.
I want to make 20, not 30 seconds before we started rolling the cameras. They were like, "Well, working for you, sir." You know, and then
I'm sorry, son.
hey,
I'm sorry, son.
and now
get this camera
I'm
going, son.
fucking Big Dick Johnny over here, or whatever.
No, Big Cock Carlos.
Oh,
Carlos.
That's why it's that CC, baby.
Carlos wants his coffee. Yes.
I'll see you on
BCC.
Wednesday.
He's that CCC, baby.
It ain't me, man. Anyways, I don't know. I'm somewhere there. I'm gonna start out at an 8.9. I'm gonna start at an 8.9 because in very good fashion. Look, Luca Guadagnino.
You're saying they're different.
Guadagnino.
Every time it's different, bro.
Guadagnino. I know I can't pronounce.
You emphasize one word.
Guadagnino.
The G is silent.
There's no G, bro.
Ever since I saw Call Me by Your Name, you know, he's proven himself to be a pretty good prolific voice in cinema. And prolific being the operative word because he doesn't. You would think that his style was going to be what he did with Call Me by Your Name.
Yeah.
And then you see stuff. I haven't seen Bones and All with Timothée Chalamet, but it looks substantially different tonally. If you see stills or if you see the film, you know, Guadagnino. All right, cool. Yeah, so if you see like Bones and All, tonally it's different. The color palette's substantially different. You see Queer, substantially different. So I do think he's prolific. You know, he remade one of the films that cult following. Yeah, you don't touch Suspiria. You don't touch Dario Argento's films. You know, he was an Italian horror master, and you don't touch his films. And he remade one of his most famous films.
Oh, shit.
That's hard, man. Like that's brave. So again, I do think that though he's on the newer side in terms of just being known, and I think he's becoming a prolific voice, and he has a voice. He has a cinematic voice. He knows what he's doing. So I can appreciate that. I started at an 8.9 because I want to explore with y'all how we feel about certain choices, and I think he's damn good at what he's doing. I just don't. I want to let it be known with very good intention that he obviously studies the masters, because you don't get that. You don't get cuts like these. You don't get choices like these cinematically without studying the masters. And by the way, you can go and do research. I didn't find him talking about like the films that I'm going to reference. These are just my take on it.
Yeah.
You know, even while we were screening the film, you saw a lot of Y Tu Mamá También in this one, and it has very little to do with the fact that it's a love triangle thing. It has a lot to do with establishing these three characters. One thing that he did note that resonates with that sentiment is that with any love triangle, you have to make sure that all edges touch. And that's why you have to have those two kiss. And I know what I did, Eric, don't laugh at me. That's why you have to have those two kiss, for instance. A lot of people were questioning that decision. It's like, well, why? They weren't into each other. But similar to Y Tu Mamá También, there was something there. There's a sexual tension that perhaps wasn't explored.
I think.
And, you know, stuff like that. You know, that those that just have to connect before the Zendaya kind of factor has to connect with each of them.
I think that also kind of comes from you need something that's going to pull them towards each other in a weird way.
Yeah.
And it's good that they established that at like the beginning of the film because
tennis, right? Tennis.
They need something that's constantly bringing them back because essentially they're friends. They're not brothers. They're just two guys who have like they've grown up and worked together when it comes to like
one taught the other how to jerk off.
Yeah, like
Again, another Y Tu Mamá También.
They've grown up together. But I mean, if it was over like a girl and it was as simple as like, oh, we're just two straight dudes who just play the game, then it would have been like, oh, but she's also into the game, and as long as I'm better, I can win. But they'll never be brought back. But like you saw that they would like talk to each other in a much more connected way in like the sauna. Or like in different places where it was kind of like as much as they want to pull away from each other, they're like, oh yeah, but you know, it's kind of like when we were teens and all that kind of stuff.
The
like they really can't rip away from each other at all.
The first act does that extremely well. I mean, in very little time, you establish the relationship between these guys and how well they get along.
Even all the movements that they do that are perfectly in sync, that they don't have to look at each other, but every time they like move or like together. Relax and like stare at Zendaya the first time around, they're in perfect unison. That's why they didn't kind of bat an eye when Zendaya just like made them kiss.
Everything. I mean, there was some things, not just how the camera's seeing them in unison, but they were both drinking Coke bottles at the same time. They were both smoking a cigarette at the same time. I mean, they were connecting on multiple levels.
Can you please elaborate? Because I feel like I'm a little bit lost. So what are you guys insinuating with that?
That
they were two before there was three. That their relationship, their friendship was tight knit.
But are you guys saying that we needed her to see what they really were?
No.
Not
it's just like if two dudes were fighting over a girl and it broke up their friendship. Normally, I feel like you would see that they just don't want to talk to each other. They they'll dodge each other as much as possible. But with these guys, the fact that they have to play a tennis match together and like they're sitting down near each other, like you didn't see them being two dudes who were trying to separate, don't look at each other, and just looking at the girl. They were focused on each other, but also focused on her.
And I will say that's why I give it an 8.9, because though that exists in the subtext, I don't think it exists as prominently as it could have.
Yeah.
The sauna scene is the only thing that kind of salvages it. But if you really think about it, like, you guys tell me, I feel more pain after seeing Tenoch and Julio in the cafe.
At the end.
Than when I see these two on the court. You know what I'm saying? That hug at the end, him landing on him and them hugging and then like kind of embracing that hug, it's a sweet sentiment. And it's in that same vein that you're like, oh man, yeah, you wanted these two to kind of get back together. But I think something like Y Tu Mamá También did that way better, you know, where we see them We see them kind of trying to rekindle something. It doesn't really work out. There's more
but
pain in that. And I think that's what this film lacks. I think that's probably why I'm at 8.9. There's another film that if you guys, this would make a great double feature if you watch a film called Jules and Jim, Francois Truffaut's film about, you could Google it and see pictures and you'll see that Jamie. It's this fucking film. Like it's a love triangle. Yeah. It's called Jules and Jim. It's Jules, Jules and Jim. And Jim. And 1962.
Well,
and
I just want to know, what did Castro call me?
Austin.
Yeah, I don't know if you can bring up other stills or anything like that, but it's a love triangle directed by the great Francois Truffaut, and it's very similar, especially the opening scene. Like, these two are silly, these two are like funny with each other, they're friends. They meet this girl, similar fashion. They both fall in love with her, and then she kind of has to decide, and then she ends up having a kid with one of them, and they all live in the same house after they already have a family established, and it's really terrific. But again, one of them's a blonde, one of them's a brunette. I mean, like,
can I ask a question? Like,
and then now I have another question.
Okay,
I feel like I'm a little lost in this one.
Well, on the whole love triangle front, how do you balance it out? Where in the writing, or how do you feel like this film balanced it out, where you don't immediately make Zendaya kind of like an evil character? Because I feel like in a lot of like love triangle situations, it's easy to make the one who has to choose. Yeah. They're kind of the evil character because they're the one keeping two parties like apart, you know?
I feel like I laugh because everybody in the room, I think, especially for those who hadn't seen it, were like, when she kisses Josh O'Connor's character at the end or in present day, and she's like, what a hoe bag, what a bitch, like, what the fuck, even though she has a kid and this and that. But I think again, if you search deeper into that subtext, you understand that
she does it kind of for the love of the sport. She does it
for the love of her husband. First of all,
yeah,
she's trying to soften the blow.
No, yeah,
and to an extent.
What was the question again?
No, like how do you
balance out? How do you balance it?
Because I mean, like it could easily be like you could lean into the skid, and Zendaya is the one who knows that she has two. What she believes like really good players tied around her finger, and she can pull the strings. She can control like who wins, who loses, and she tries to. Like I
think with this screening, I'm analyzing Zendaya's character a little more like this. When I think of Zendaya's character in this scenario, the short answer is you find empathy with her when she gets injured, when she can't play the game anymore.
But what's her end game?
Well, her end game is for good tennis to be had.
Yeah, that's why she gets so into it at the end.
To get so fired up, and she realizes that the fire can't come just from loving the game.
So help me understand the ending. So those both guys, they're competing at the end. And now they're like, who cares about
now they're playing good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then he goes over the net, and then they embrace.
It didn't matter. The game itself didn't matter.
And then why did she yell, come on?
Because she just experienced good fucking tennis from a long time of not experiencing that.
I think it would hit way better if 1-1. That's her.
But again, it didn't matter. No, because then the audience is led to believe that you have to pick that one.
But then why did she say come on?
Because she just finished, Gaston.
Huh?
No, but she just finished. No, the whole thing was she wanted the competition.
No, he's not wrong in a sense. She there was a climax in her of just this fire and ice, quite literally what she calls them. This fire and ice is back and forth.
But then it dissolves once they hug each other.
Why does it have to dissolve?
The competition's not even there.
Why does it have to dissolve? But again, she's not obsessed. She's not obsessed with it. She understands. Her character understands that this isn't about maintaining the love of this for a long time.
No.
She understands that you have rare moments where two competitors are in a relationship.
That's how she explained it when you're playing.
She understands that this is a fleeting thing. This is a flash in a pan, and if I can get them to that point, I've succeeded.
I feel like
I felt like that. I felt like that last come on was like, I would have wanted to take it like, what are you doing?
Let me toss this at you. On this screening, I took Zendaya's character, and I compare her to characters like the teacher. J.K. Simmons' character in Whiplash. Ooh. Or Kate Blanchett in Tar.
Oh, that's damn. Those are really good
where
ones.
they care more about the fucking thing itself than who they're around.
But what's the thing itself? The competition or them finally?
The thing itself is a good fucking tennis match.
good
And
tennis.
the whole
Exactly.
thing, the
That's
whole
my
thing.
point. Are you understanding what I'm saying, Austin?
I do. Well, look, I feel like when it comes to Zendaya's character, going back to like the original thing that you were saying, you sympathize with her by making the other guys just as big of pieces of shit as she is. But obviously they have their own ones. Like Patrick wants to actually be a contending tennis player, and homeboy, I forgot his name. Art. He wants to be relevant again. You know, but Zendaya, like Carlos said, she just wants to have a great fucking match. Now,
Exactly.
if you have a force that is all the way at the top of the game, but they can't go anywhere else from there, and you place them against somebody that has the capabilities to go further but doesn't push himself past that
Right,
force.
right. I'm with you on
You
that.
know, of course, like for her, she sees the potential since the beginning, since they were kids. So in the end, when that one finally breaches that wall, I guess, when Art finally gets to beat Patrick, it feels to her like a climax.
Yeah.
Like this whole thing that I was curating for years and years and years, I finally got to see the tennis match I wanted to fucking watch.
She was edging for years,
Literally.
you know? And not just that,
like
but
that.
I think what I like about that quote unquote relationship is imagine it's like that what is it, tantrum sex
Yeah,
where
tantrum.
people believe that if you do X amount of things for so long and you're celibate for X amount of time, that the climax is going to be that much more rewarding. I think she was following that too, because imagine being so intimate, not just in a sexual way, but in an intimate, personal way. She knew personal things about both of these guys.
Right.
She created a life with one of them, a child with one of them. The other one, she knew his background. She knew what family he came from. She knew what his economical status was, what he's trying to prove. I mean, she knew them intimately, and she knew them intimately sexually also. So for her to have all this insight on two people in a relationship that she can't quote unquote be a part of anymore, her favorite kind of relationship, and to know them so intimately that when she sees them on the court, she has all this background to feed the relationship she's now witnessing. That's huge.
That's good.
That feeds that thirst that she can't quench from her own playing.
I just feel like since she's that type of a character that's been written where she's all about, you know, seeing a great match by these two guys that have been invested in, I feel like she would want. You feel like there was closure?
Well, closure is an interesting thing, right? Because
Like,
let me put it to you this way.
Somebody won, right?
Just based on what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Based on what you're saying, if you saw one of them win, right, you would get closure, right? You would feel like, yeah, one of them won.
And
There's closure.
that's the whole.
But
Come
we
on,
still get the same sentiment. It ended. The match ended. So even if one of them won, the match ends. The match cannot keep going on. So regardless, it's like, and I hate to be so sexual about this, but it is a very sexually fueled film. It's like, you know, you're getting it on, and you get to a point where you're going to, and then you don't. I think that's what you would have gotten if one of them won. But if you get to a point where it's about the experience itself, not the result, if it's about the journey and not the destination, that's what she's chasing. To be inside a good tennis match. That's where she's like, oh.
So that's why she let out that, like,
Yeah,
come on.
Half of that is I want more.
Yeah.
Half of that is I was in it. You know,
There's,
so
I
there's a
took it as
moment-
the other had the first half.
I
Like,
want more. Well,
Like,
yeah,
what are
that's
you guys
inside
doing?
of there.
Yeah.
That's mixed into that batch
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
When they're on the
Okay.
beach, they have that moment where Zendaya's describing what tennis is and her like passion behind
Yeah,
it. And
And mind you, she knew who they were.
yeah,
She knew their stats. She knew why, because they were the best players.
Yeah.
Right.
and when she's describing the relationship that's had on the court, she describes it as, "Oh no, we're in this relationship, this back and forth." But like, I think she says, like, for a while we're doing that, but then there's a moment of just real good tennis. Like, there's like 15 minutes of
15 seconds.
Yeah, there's like 15 seconds of real tennis, and after that, it's this back and forth relationship.
We're in agreement. We both know what the other one is saying for those fleeting 15 seconds.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
And I feel like that's what the movie describes. That last moment of just like, oh, we're beyond everything else. Now we're playing real tennis, you know?
And again, we see what she's saying with these two. We know these two as intimately as she does, quote unquote. so that we know that when he does the move, that's nonverbal. When we do this, when he's like, fuck off, finally there's a verbal break. And then they have to kind of break. And then when we come back, we know what they're thinking. We know what they're telling each other.
That is good.
That's what she wants. That's how she gets off, you know?
Hey, you guys had a second look at this, so this is my first look.
I had a second look at this.
had
I
a
think you
first
guys
look.
had seen it more, right? You, Austin, and Eric had seen it a few times more.
This is
That's good,
my
man.
second time watching
Second
it.
screening as well.
This basically has the same plot as Death Proof, right?
You know,
Sure, yeah.
there.
Except instead of killing, it's tennis, right?
Instead of driving, it's tennis. Yeah.
Well, killing with your car. That was
Yeah.
where he got off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This movie just makes me want to play tennis.
With that note, we're going to end the podcast early tonight. No, but yeah, no, and then again, I want to emphasize a little bit more about the editing and the cinematography, because I caught on this screening I guess we'll start with editing, the perspectives. How we cut to 3 different situations. And I call them situations because they're not necessarily just angles. I mean, there's so many, this kind of goes with each other. There's so many oneers in this film that people don't realize are oneers because of just how subtle the things are or how invested you are in the conversation. That by the time something becomes a cut, you better understand that this film, quote unquote, could have survived with very minimal cuts. It could have survived with not having as many cuts as it did because of how strong the oneers were.
Yeah.
You could have gone, each scene could have been a oneer, and it would have been fine.
And I think it comes from the fact that, like, when you see the cuts, you feel how connected both those moments are. Yeah. Like, the characters really didn't need to be next to each other for you to see how close that tension was. But the oneers felt so in tandem with it that when you would get any oneers, it all blended together perfectly. You never had to have this moment of like, oh, this is a special moment. It's a oneer. It's almost like everything was one, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And by the same token, right, that's kind of that triangle factor. I mean, everything is connected, and more so their perspective, how each of them are experiencing this moment is connected, and that's where the cuts come in. If we cut, and a lot of the moments, like you were asking Gus during the screening, why that cut? Why did we see that for a millisecond?
especially
and then boom,
the
boom,
one
boom,
that
boom.
you said that it messed with the line.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
oh,
yeah. When they're in
my
the restaurant.
goodness,
When they're in the
yeah,
restaurant.
no,
Such a terrific scene.
So a lot of times, I don't think they tell this to film students, but they always instruct you that you need to know the 180 line. You need to know basically that there is a invisible wall, and then as long as you're filming, like let's say, and the focus is a conversation, right? Which happens here. There's a conversation, there's an invisible wall, and you can go back and forth as long as you're on this side of the 180. Because then it gives the audience a sense of this is the stage, this is where they're playing at, and then we're able to maintain perspective. So as long as you're going across this, we don't feel confused. But then when you flip the wall, when you get to the other side of the 180, it gives this weird sense of like, wait, I thought this person's on the right talking to the left, and now this person's on the left talking to the right, and it kind of visually it takes you away from the conversation. It breaks up things. Yeah. But there are times to break that rule, and
the audience disorients in a weird way, and in a very good way, and the way they use it in this film.
And that's
inside the diner, inside the Applebee's.
What was the reason for that?
Because again, remember, we're seeing this conversation from each of their perspectives. Okay. Not fully, not gimmicky. No. But remember, this breaks at the end of the conversation. The 180 line breaks at the end of their conversation. Yeah. When they're both basically admitting to each other, like, I wish you would have chosen me. I wish I would have won so I could have gotten your number. Yeah. Reiterating, like, what could have been, because you were dating my best friend for X amount of time and I was always in love with you, was being the operative word. When the 180 line breaks, she asks, so you never answered the question, did you stop being in love with me? That's flipping the script on seeing both of their perspectives for this moment. Man. You know, and again, I always say, you can go back on this podcast and our other podcasts, that I think you need to learn the rules so that you know how to break them. Exactly. You know, break them with intentionality is our motto when we're working together as director DP. If we're going to break a rule, we better have a damn good reason. I like that one. You know,
and with the 180 rule, whenever you need to break it, like even for like your own films, usually it's a good way to tell the audience that the tone or the power or something's shifted. That basically whatever was the like foundation. Like let's say if you're talking to somebody who you know like their secret, right?
Yeah.
And you think, oh, I have all the cards to deal. Like I know their secret, I know what they go through, and then they bring up something like, oh, it's funny how we both know things about each other, and then that kind of flips the power struggle in the scene, and you would flip the 180 to show like, oh, now the tides have changed, the power is different.
They could have done that, and they do.
Yeah.
They do
in very
in the sauna
careful,
scene.
Yes,
In the sauna scene, the minute he says, "Are we still talking about tennis?"
Yeah.
Right.
That's
when he
always
knows.
a great that's a great callback that they use multiple times. This whole notion of like, we're still talking about tennis, right? And
It doesn't matter.
I
This is the
love
relationship.
it.
Yeah.
But
I
that
love it.
sauna scene, they break the 180 rule, and they use a flashback to dissuade you. They use a flashback of Atlanta, right? Of what happened of when she cheated, so that you can go back to Josh O'Connor's from Art's of Mike Feist's character, his perspective, to see Josh O'Connor smile when he says that.
So does she cheat? Does she cheat because he's kind of sucking at tennis?
Exactly.
So is she a manipulator or just a mastermind?
Nah, she's a dick, man. Like I mean, geez, just cause
I don't think she's either necessarily. I don't think she's necessarily. No.
Definitely a hint
hear
of
me out. Hear me out on
manipulation.
this. Hear me out on this. Yeah, she knows. What guy can't be manipulated by any woman? It doesn't. That's just what it is.
Pussy rules the world.
Right. Pussy rules the world. But what I mean is, I don't see her personally as this mastermind. I don't see her as this grand manipulator.
So how's she able to pull this
I
off?
see her as this human being that cares more about
the game
capturing this moment on the court that behind the scenes. That's why she prides herself on being a coach.
Yeah.
I will coach you. I know how to coach you. That's the manipulation factor, right? I'm going to train you up to par. But she understands, much like acting, that if you can tap in to some personal shit to really bring out the edge, I kind of want to chase that. So I don't think she's a terrible human being. I'll just say it. I think she's a human being.
Speaking of acting, I feel like that's one of the biggest things that makes. Honestly, backtracking off of your opinion of Zendaya, I see the vision now. Like the fact that we have to even think like, was she a manipulator? Was she a mastermind? Was she just a tennis fan? Those are all the depths that Zendaya has brought to the character. And I know that during the like when we were watching the film, we all had like, me and John Eric were kind of like, and I still do believe that it's a challenge for her to play
Un-Oscar-worthy.
Age.
Yeah, but
I'll say
she does
this.
play a good human being.
She does, and more
I could
so.
play a good
We
human
catch
being.
this on the first act. When we're breaking into the second act, and we see her for a long time being young, and fluttery, and bubbly, and happy, and flirty, and just so full of life because she knows what's ahead of her. A very successful tennis career. I'm going to play the game I love for the rest of my life. I'm going to be able to have these relationships for the rest of my life as long as my opponent's fucking up to it. And then that gets taken away. And when that gets taken away, she ages up, man. Like there's bags under her eyes. There's pain inside her eyes. You see that. I see that. I see that so
just
much.
that dissatisfaction with like
Life.
the life that she's been dealt.
Yeah,
now.
the cards that she's been dealt, right? But there is a shot that when we're breaking from the past, the 12, 13 years before, to present day, where we're seeing her with long hair and again, very happy, to boom, present day, she's miserable, she's just like trying to get through it. That's not easy to do. It's not the makeup artist. That's acting, man. That is making sure that she knows what this character is going through. And with very to no little words, lets you know where she's at in life. That's hard.
I think what I was impressed with her acting was just the moments where you really can't tell if she's you can't tell if she's emotionally connected to anything or anyone
other than tennis.
Yeah, because even like people would ask her like, "Are we still talking about tennis?" And then it's like, "Well, yeah. What else would we be talking about?"
Yeah.
But like,
there's a moment, isn't there? A moment in Mike Feist's character when they ask Mike Feist's character, "I love to see you lit up, even if it's about my girlfriend."
Yeah.
when they're in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
I'd like to see
O'Connor's character.
O'Connor's character's like, I'd like to see you lit up, even if it's about my girlfriend. That's fine. But again, that spark, that the only time we really truly see it in her is when she's experiencing tennis. We don't see her character smile in present day until the end, until that last shot, and she's like almost hilariously smiling. You know,
Because she finally got to get that good tennis.
she got that good tennis all up in her. You know what I mean?
Because even then, like, I mean, even with the cheating scene, it's kind of like, okay, like, I think my frustration with her as the character is that I felt like, wait, you have a family, you have him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you really after? Like what if you wanted the other guy, then go with the other guy. But if you want him, you then stay with him.
Yeah.
But then even like she had that whole sentiment of like, yeah, you know, if you lose the match tomorrow, I'll leave you. And if it makes you like play better, I'm not lying.
Exactly.
And it was like, oh, geez, like,
Exactly.
but she's just so. You realize that her character is just good tennis. Like that's all she cares about.
And I
That's all.
agree with you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with their sentiment, but I agree with you guys to an extent that she's got some growing to do as an actress.
yeah,
Similar,
but
but
she
again, I
was-
call it the Leo effect because Timothée Chalamet's on the same boat.
Yeah.
Timothée Chalamet's a damn good fucking actor.
Oh,
who,
hell
by
yeah.
the way, was up for the role of Mike Faist. He was up for this role. He had just worked with Luca. Of course he was. You know, he was up for this role also. But Timothée Chalamet's running into the same issue. I call it the Leo effect because I don't believe shit Leo says in Titanic, son. I just don't. He's too young. He's too fucking young to be in that film. No,
perfect.
he's too young to be in that film.
Yeah.
That's a hot take that I have for next week's episode when we cover for A Complete Unknown. It was insanely hard to see Bob Dylan and Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah.
But
At the beginning.
he gives a great performance.
Yeah.
To me, there was even a moment when he was walking through the street smoking a cigarette
Yeah.
and he even gets that little whistle that I was like,
Holy shit, he
damn, that's
got it.
Timmy.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Timmy.
But that's my point. I think it's just their age working against them.
Yeah.
I call it the Leo effect because
I had that with the Aviator.
You're
The
comparing.
Aviator. The Aviator's a perfect
You're
example.
comparing
Yeah.
Zendaya with Timothy?
Yes.
No.
No, well, like, you've seen the Aviator, right? With,
Look at Dune. Look at
with,
Dune. She
Jill?
deserves to be in that conversation with Timmy. I mean, they were co-stars.
That's what I'm saying.
I hate Dune, bro.
You hate Dune?
Yeah, bro. It's not my cup of tea, bro. It's
Dude,
just a bunch
hot
of
take,
nice.
too much sand.
It's a
Denis
bunch of
Villeneuve at
cinematography with
his
just
fucking-
dumb planets and
Look,
just fuck that.
You got Greg Fraser, you got Denis Villeneuve, you
Yeah.
have the whole cast and crew. I mean, there's
I'm not a Dune guy.
Well, we'll talk
Fair,
about
fair,
that because
yeah.
it is nominated for Best
Yeah.
Picture.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about Dune on our Dune
Yeah,
2
yeah.
kind
Do
of
you wanna-
box.
you wanna
But I
touch on
agree.
cinematography?
I think there's some vision there. I think that these
Really
guys
not?
got something, and they're not the best directors in the game right now are going to choose them just for fun. They're not really. They weren't even really a name yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw Timmy back in Beautiful Boy, man. Timmy
Yeah.
for me.
That's why I started.
But he was age appropriate then, right?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
he spikes up. But again, I think that's what Zendaya. I think they're just running into the Leo effect.
I do think that Zendaya was well casted in this. At first, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, what are we gonna do with you? But then, towards the end,
Same with Malcolm and Marie, by the way, which is still like one of my more favorite modern pictures. But could that character been older and that would have worked out a little better? Probably. But she's still fucking
I just
terrific.
think castings are going for like the
Like,
Barbies and the. Like they're not going for the actors. They're just going for something.
Right
yeah,
now,
she
I
has
think-
range. She has range, but
What's your take,
bro,
Danny?
you
You're
can
a
have
fellow
another-
actor.
Yeah.
What's your take on this? You're
What's the correct answer, Danny?
bro, you could have gotten somebody else to play. You're telling me like nobody could have played Zendaya.
who would you have put?
You know,
Before
I'm
you answer, Danny.
played
asking
Zendaya.
you. I'm asking you. You think somebody else could have played her? There we go. Thank
No,
you. That's enough.
no. You know why? Because again, as a director, right? As a director, I'm thinking, I don't want to cast 3 different people for these 3 different age groups. Who can I use that could across the board communicate what I want to communicate?
For sure, 100%.
Zendaya did it
But to
pretty
me,
seamlessly.
I'm coming from the actor's perspective, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta believe what I'm looking
Well,
at. I can't believe a skinny, 120 is a pro athlete.
Okay, let's take.
I watch tennis. They don't look like that.
Let's take a gentle pause. Let's take the
Yeah.
world's
They
softest,
got some meat in them.
gentlest cotton ball pause.
I do.
Let's take.
player.
It's
Serena.
a hot.
Serena out of all of them.
let's-
Oh, you said what?
He goes,
You said
No,
what?
no, hold on. Name one white tennis player.
The one that
Not
was
John McEnroe.
No, the one that was dating Enrique.
Iglesias.
Yeah, that she's hot. I forget her name.
Okay, let's
Danny.
take. Let's take.
Veronica something. I don't know.
Let's take a Quilton.
Dude, you could have said Roger Federer.
Ultra
That's easy one
soft.
right
Yeah,
there.
Roger Federer,
Andy Nokovic.
I don't know
Let's
that.
All right, yeah. Hold on. Let's take a
a
pause.
soft pause.
Uh-huh.
Let's all breathe.
Do you need a pee? Is that what it is?
No. Let's just breathe.
Uh-huh.
All right, everybody.
Experience the environment.
On 3, let's take a deep breath. 1,
Okay, 1, 2.
3. And let it out.
Okay, perfect. Now that we've taken a pause, Danny,
As an actor, as a fellow
as an actor, I want your take. You obviously saw the whole movie with us. It was crazy because you didn't leave our side for a second.
Yeah, man.
You were
No, I
in
did
this. You just like I felt more connected to you.
Shut the fuck up. Let him do. What's your take? Zen Master? What's your take on this?
What's
if
your
any?
take?
I don't know.
As an actor.
I didn't watch I didn't watch Challengers. I wasn't watching this with
What's
him.
your take on
But
Zendaya?
Zendaya, I do have like takes for. I don't know
Okay.
if they're hot or not or whatever, but honestly, like in Dune, I didn't think she was the right call for that character. I didn't think so.
Thank you.
I thought everyone else was well casted and even Timothée, you know?
Yeah.
Timothée.
Timothée Chalamet.
Timmy.
Even
Timmy
him,
boy.
like,
Yeah, they're good to look at, but
he like, yeah, they're good. I mean, they're good actors too, you know, at the end of the day.
For sure.
But it is like the Leo effect. You can really only see them because they've been around so much.
Yeah.
you
I'm
know?
with you on that too.
You can see them. It'd be
sometimes we want some new freshers.
Look,
Oh,
I
especially-
think it's an
especially-
interesting take because Timothy, Austin and I really love, since we've seen Timothy in a lot of shit.
Yeah, he's definitely.
We've seen him grow, right? And we followed his career to an extent. And I like that once he's done something like Greta Gerwig's Little Women or Don't Look Up. Don't Look Up or Don't Look,
Yeah, he was-
Don't Look Up.
he was
You
different
know,
on that
once
one.
you see kind of the spark there,
French Dispatch.
I love them in French Dispatch. Then you get to him doing Wonka. And I always think that's a genius choice. I always think that's a smart choice for young actors to get a reputation, get people going, get people excited about you.
take a
Do the
risk.
big film.
And then do
the
a risk.
blockbuster. Do the thing that's going to get you fucking a household name. And then go back to do your personal
Yeah,
choices
fuck
like
yeah.
the Bob Dylan film.
I'm with you.
I think Timothy has been following that very properly, very, very exquisitely. Leo did the same thing. Problem is, Leo did it very young.
Okay, but we're
Yeah.
talking
He
about
got
Zendaya.
famous mad
What
young.
about Zendaya?
Zendaya's been a child actor on Disney Channel
Give
for
me
fucking...
a movie besides the one that you said about, with the
Malcolm and
David.
Marie.
Yeah, give me another one.
Give you another one of her performances where I think she's great.
Yeah,
Euphoria.
Well, yeah, as an
I
actress on
think
Euphoria,
Euphoria is a
she's
real
terrific.
problem. Like I feel like
yeah, dude, I'm with you.
I think that almost like typecasted her as this type of gloomy, like addicted teen who's just got
Okay,
issues.
okay.
No, but I mean, like when I've seen her performances in Euphoria, and I
Yeah.
think she
Oh, yeah,
brings
yeah, yeah. He's
aspects.
helping you out. He's helping you out right there.
Like she brings aspects to other films.
I got one for you.
Yeah, for sure. I got two of them.
The Greatest Showman.
She was in The
Greatest
Great
Showman.
Showman.
Yes, she was the greatest. She was in the Greatest Showman. She was the love interest.
Oh, I never watched it.
Thank you, man.
Yes,
Thank
she
you.
was in The Greatest Showman, and she
Appreciate
did
that, man.
terrifically. She was
Okay.
really good in The Greatest Showman, and I don't like that movie.
Oh, she was
mind
in
you.
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, because we see all the pictures, all the titles right
Oh,
here.
she's in Fortnite Chapter 3.
That's not the
fuck
point.
yeah.
You're asking for a good performance.
Fortnite
There is-
Chapter
there
3.
is that one-
The
I'm
Greatest
just saying-
Showman.
I'm just saying, Timothy definitely has
Okay.
the range. With Zendaya, this is the biggest range we've seen in.
Danny's ready to drop more knowledge.
No,
What's
yeah,
going on?
there is that one thing too that there's no doubt that she or Timothée can like tell the story well. You know, they take the script, they're able to break it down enough like an actor should do
Yeah,
to be
for
able
sure.
to understand their character well enough to tell that story, regardless if they play it well or whatever.
They're good
They're
actors.
just making their choices.
Yeah.
For sure.
As that whole thing
I like
that we
that.
all have our own opinions.
I'll
on,
toss
I
this
guess,
out
you know?
there too. I'll toss this
yeah,
out
an
there too.
actor's-
I
fuck
heard
yeah.
Morgan Freeman talk about this recently, where they asked him, "What was Clint Eastwood like to work with as a director?" Or no, they didn't ask him that. They asked him, "What makes a good director to you?"
Did I hear this?
And he said, "Clint Eastwood." He says because Clint Eastwood expects an actor to show up and do his fucking job. He doesn't sit and baby the actor and say, "This is what you do and these are the choices you make." We agreed upon that in rehearsals. We agreed upon that in certain
Samuel L.
things.
Jackson
I
said that.
cast you because of this. So
Yeah.
can you do this? By the same token, I think the good thing that we have seen out of Zendaya, for me, things like Malcolm and Marie, things like Euphoria, things like this, Challengers. Look at the common denominator between those three things. Good directors. I don't think she has yet been paired up with a great director.
Okay.
Do you think somebody like Scorsese can use her yet?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Scorsese just used Timothy Chalamet in an ad that made him
that's
act
what we're
better
talking
than
about.
fucking anything.
Timothy's just on a whole other level than Zendaya.
Like,
But by the same token, I think if she works with like a Barry Jenkins, for
Yeah.
instance,
That's a
you
hot
know,
take though, because she did work with Denis Villeneuve twice. So
Yeah,
I
and
consider
sucked
him
ass
one of the
before.
greatest directors. You know, in
Yeah.
Incendies or however the fuck
but
you say
she
it.
wasn't necessarily a lead.
Yeah.
Fair. So you
As a
believe that
lead.
she needs like that lead.
She needs the lead outlet with a great director.
Who do you think would be?
I
Honestly,
think like a Barry Jenkins. I'm saying
Barry
like a Barry Jenkins. I'm saying like a Damien Chazelle.
There we go.
Ooh, I feel like
There
she
we
would
go.
kill it on a Chazelle movie.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hey, Leo, get her on Evil Knievel, dog. She's good.
Well-
Damien Chazelle's doing Evil Knievel, starring Leo DiCaprio.
Dude,
That's his next film.
Leo's doing everything right now.
I know.
Except for hiding evidence with Diddy.
Yeah, I guess you could have it.
Hey, and he was just in El Paso. Shout out.
So
Leo
you
was in El Paso doing his thing.
Shout out to
And,
Michael.
we
We got to
to
work
Evil
on that
Knievel?
film.
So you want her like to play
Wow.
like a groupie or something in Evil Knievel or something?
Evil Knievel had a wife, Castro. That's kind of a big
Oh,
deal in
okay,
that
yeah.
story. But yeah, sure, groupie. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. But again, if she
hating. I'm just
gets a
vibing.
role like a Tar, you know, like a good leading, really layered character.
What if she got a Murph from
Hey,
Interstellar?
That's good.
she
A
would
Murph?
not be able to play Christine. What's her name?
Jessica Chastain.
Yeah, Jessica Chastain. Come on, bro. You
got
think
a
she'll be
Murph.
able to?
No, because Jessica Chastain's fucking 40, dude. I get it. I get
Exactly,
the age.
bro.
That's not the
Exactly.
point.
But she's trying to play 40.
I
Well,
think
not in this one,
I
but-
think she's gonna thrive.
No, for sure. I'm not
I
saying
think
she's bad.
Zendaya is going to thrive
She's
hard.
good.
She has more
when
to say.
when she
For sure.
gets
As an actor.
to when she gets to like a Revolution Road, you know, when she gets to a Gatsby. When Leo got to those parts, Leo became Leo. You know what I'm saying? In the
I
sense
think
of
when she gets away from the whole sexuality, I'm gonna show my nips with this black and white. No, I'm being serious. I'm being serious. When she gets away from playing the hot chick and she starts doing other
You know,
stuff, I think
is
that's
she
when
playing the hot chick?
If I like,
Here, the one that you just said.
I know that
She
Nipples
wasn't.
were
That
out.
wasn't the
Nipples
point.
were out
That wasn't
here.
the point of
No,
the character.
No, but I'm saying
that's just what you're focusing on.
No,
Yeah.
No, but
that's what they're showing.
No, that's fair, though.
Great
That's
acting
fair.
doesn't show
That's fair.
that.
If Zendaya came out, I know she wouldn't have been the right casting choice, just for aesthetics. But if she had come out in like Babylon,
Oh, absolutely.
playing
Instead of Maggie.
what's her face?
Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Margot
Margot
Robbie's character. I think that would have put me at a. I would have loved to have seen her perform that. I think she could have
Yeah.
probably gone toe for toe.
Yeah.
She probably would have had a lot to say.
But again, if
She
you
just
see
needs
that,
one of those,
like
you know.
you get glimpses of that in like The Greatest Showman.
Okay.
You get more glimpses of that in something like Challengers. But again, what movie can you think of where she's been an actual lead by herself without an ensemble cast? It hasn't happened yet.
True.
Yeah, the closest she got is like Malcolm Marie, and that one's still kind of.
I mean,
wasn't a
Euphoria,
movie,
she
but-
gets a few episodes where they're focused on her.
That's the closest.
I
Probably.
think Euphoria, she was considered the lead.
Yeah,
I think she was the
that's
number
the
one.
closest.
A lead, I'd say a lead. I mean, it's an ensemble cast. You have Jacob Elordi, you have Sydney Sweeney, you have the mom character, which the mom character is very good too.
What's the guy's name? Dominic Coleman?
Dominic
Or
Coleman. Which one's Dominic Coleman?
The kind of father figure for Zendaya. The
Oh yeah,
the rehab,
the other
rehab.
guy who's also rehabbing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought
He's
he
terrific.
killed it. Yeah,
Again,
He was very good.
I think if she gets a lead,
Sister
if
was
she gets
too.
a lead, it'll
Yeah.
with the right director.
With the right director.
Like if she comes out in another like a Greta Gerwig or like you know who I'd like to see her work with? Celine Song. I would
be
love
an
to see a
interesting one.
Celine Song Zendaya picture. By the way, the writer of this, Justin Kurtz.
Shouldn't I say something
Sorry,
that's
it's
gonna get me-
small text. Kurtzkis. He's actually married to Celine Song. Fun fact.
I think Yorgos.
Yorgos Lanthimos. Yeah, it'd be
Yeah, that
amazing to
guy
see a
would-
Zendaya Yorgos. Like she could have played, and I know it's a small part, but imagine her playing the Margaret Qualley role in Poor Things. You would have seen some range. You would have seen
What's her name? The one that played.
Emma Stone.
Y'all agree?
I feel like Zendaya and Emma
Emma
Stone
Stone
have the
is a
same
whole-
vibe. Not gonna lie.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yo,
But
you guys need to
I
watch.
think Emma
If
Stone
you haven't seen
Ken.
Kinds of
older.
Kindness, Kind of Kindness. If she would have been in Kinds of Kindness in Emma Stone's roles, because she plays multiple roles,
Nah,
Yeah, Yorgos would be
Emma's
good.
put in the work. Emma's
Yorgos-
put in the work, bro.
Nah, what?
Why? Because she won an
Superbad?
Oscar?
No, but she's been putting in
GCA?
work.
Not for nothing. Not for nothing. Her in place of Emma in La La Land? I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Her?
Yes.
No, bro. What are we doing?
I'll take it.
La La Land is perfect.
No,
It is
like
perfect,
I said,
but Emma Stone, Emma Stone, I didn't feel her acting chops in La La Land necessarily. I'm sorry,
audition-
dude.
you
I'm sorry, but I don't think
What
her
about in
winning. Birdman, yes, seeing her in Birdman. Look, La La Land is amazing. You guys know that. I don't need to explain that. I love La La
Bro,
Land.
she was
She won
great.
an Oscar because it was a musical. Because she did
No.
more as an actress, not because her performance was better than.
It was
Who
better
who was
than
she up
Ryan
against that
Gosling?
year? Who was she up against that year for the Oscar for best performance?
Emma Stone?
Emma Stone. 2016. 2016. Who was
Fun
she up
fact,
against?
that was the year that got me into filmmaking. That whole Oscar.
Really?
Nice.
Really?
La La Land year.
La La Land.
Leo
Me
finally
too.
won that year.
You're
Almost
the guy to do
the
this.
Revenant.
Actress in supporting role.
I
Hold
think.
on, no, I want to see this. I
No,
want to see this really
we're
quick.
gonna see this. I just don't want to like leave the audience with that like.
Yeah,
No,
long
you're
silence.
right. Here we
Someone's
are.
going,
Emma Stone won against Isabel Huppert for Elle. I didn't see that.
That neither.
Ruth Nega in Loving. I didn't see that
What was
either.
that? What was that?
Natalie
Single
Portman
word
and Jackie.
Can you re-say that?
Nega. That's her name.
Whoa, I
Jeez.
think I
Natalie
heard it
Portman and
horrible.
Jackie and Meryl Streep and Florence Foster Jenkins.
Ruth
Natalie
Nega.
Portman, that year, I would have been happy if she would have won. Natalie Portman playing Jackie, JFK's
I don't even
wife.
know you right now,
Jackie
Carlos.
Kennedy. No, dude,
I don't
genuinely.
even know you.
Hot take. I feel like she won because the nominees that year for Best Actress probably
kinda
weren't
weak.
too saucy.
Yeah, they are kind of
Yeah,
weak.
they're pretty.
And
not too good.
and again, La La Land was campaigned. Ryan Gosling didn't win Best Actor. I kind of felt like
I
he
met
probably
this
did
guy
better.
with nothing but La La Land stickers, La La Land everything.
I love La La Land. It always
Not
hold a special
anymore.
place in my heart.
This
Yeah,
guy
dude,
too.
I felt
This
that
guy
way
too.
that year.
This
I
guy
could
right
tell.
here, La La Land fan of the wazoo.
I love La
I
La
got into
Land.
movies because of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
You think Zendaya would have kicked it out of the park like she did?
Honestly, I think Emma Stone was like the role.
Yeah.
Personally, I think could somebody
Actors
else
and
have
actors,
done?
no, baby.
Could somebody else have played this in their own kind of way? Yeah,
For sure.
honestly.
No, yeah. but I
Somebody
wouldn't
else
say
could
that
have done
about
it
Emma
too.
Watson, for instance, was the one that was actually up instead of Emma Stone. Emma Watson was supposed to play Mia.
I wouldn't have
She's
gone for
pretty,
Emma
but
Watson.
she hasn't showed me enough.
It has nothing to do with
What about Harry Potter?
pretty.
No,
I
I'm saying
agree.
pretty,
She's,
but
she's in no, but look, it's not about.
Pretty has a lot to do with
Danny
Hollywood.
has a point. It's not about who could have done it better. Could she have held her own in a role like that?
Emma Watson?
No,
Zendaya.
Zendaya.
Ah, man.
You don't think
Dude,
she could have held her own? I think
you
she
know,
could have.
oddly enough,
She danced?
throw her in
I
a
haven't seen her
musical.
dance.
Throw her in a musical, and she probably would have a lot
Well,
to say.
comment-
Greatest
if you
Showman.
agree with me
Greatest
or-
Showman. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody's seen that.
It's a
So
musical.
Anyway, nobody's ever heard of this.
Fuck
What,
off.
It's the
who
one with
acted
Hugh
it? Hugh
Jackman.
Grant? Yeah. See, Jack
Hishikata.
Jack who? You
Look,
know?
hot take.
Same writers as
More
La
like
La
Jack
Land
shit,
in
you
terms of the
know, like,
music.
haven't done
Just-
anything.
Yeah, whatever.
Hot take. I come from like I admire Christian Bale. All
That's
these
your
guys
hot
that
take?
go
You
over
admire
the
Christian Bale?
take the character and then try to bring it to life. And I feel like if you're gonna be a
Well, no.
tennis
Hold
player.
there. Because Christian Bale, what he does best to an extent, and you mentioned this on the screening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. You said I'm curious to see Zendaya play a role where we don't feel like she's Zendaya.
Right.
Christian Bale
Yes.
does that best, right? You see American Hustle, and you don't see
Vice.
fucking Christian Bale. You
Fucking
just see
Vice.
Vice.
Christian Bale is our modern day Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
that's not even a hot take. That's
He's a
that's
chameleon.
facts.
Daniel Day-Lewis is still around, dog. Don't be talking.
He's coming back. He's coming back for his kid.
He's coming out of retirement.
Oh yeah, for his son's movie, right?
Now you got bills.
Well, dude, if him and Christian Bale shared the screen, I don't think any cinema lover would be able to handle that emotionally because that
Same,
would just
yeah.
be like we
about
wouldn't
my
even
boy?
realize that it's them.
But yeah, what I'm saying is that she would have taken upon herself to look like a tennis player. She would have gained a little bit of weight.
Yeah, okay,
Bruh,
can
Mike
I
Feist gained
put a big
30
break?
pounds for this fucking role. He doesn't look
Exactly.
like a tennis player.
Can I do a
does.
break? Can I do a quick break?
Guys, I'm just saying from an actor's perspective.
Okay, quick break because I don't think anybody's gonna win when it comes to the fight of acting. But Something has to be said, real quick. Something has to be said on the fact that this is a sports movie that does so much when it comes to breaking the mold. I think that there's other sports films that have been made that the actors are they're trying to become competitors.
Yeah.
Even like for Nacho Libre, Jack Black trained so that way he could be able to perform a lot of the stunts
And
there.
say he gained a little bit of weight.
Just a little bit.
And again, those are like sports movies. But this one, I think the reason we're having an Oscar snubs conversation about it is that it feels like it's so much more than a sports film. Even though it follows the trope of revolving around one game and whoever wins is going to take all in more ways than one, we're not focused on this. Like, there's a moment where the sport of tennis blurs itself and it becomes a personal struggle between people.
That's such a good point because I did feel upon rewatching this film today, and I asked myself this, because we just read one of my features. We did a little table read, right? And the common consensus about what the girl, the lead, does in her profession was like, it could be anything. And that was a good note. It was like, yeah, this feels right. This feels good. This feels original, but it could have really been anything because it doesn't matter what she's doing. I keep asking myself if in Challengers, if you replace tennis with anything,
Badminton,
boxing, basketball, whatever, fucking anything, and not even necessarily a sport, anything competitive.
Paper, scissors, rock.
It would have been fun. Yeah, paper, scissors, rock.
dodgeball.
Like, I don't even consider this technically a sports film.
Exactly.
What? I mean,
exactly.
it is.
No, but on a technicality front, it is.
Now
But the
we're just
story,
vibing too much.
but the
But you could
story
give
and the
a shit.
drama,
Doesn't matter.
It could be anything.
It could be anything. It could be anything. So the factors on whether accurately
They could have thrown but that's the thing. They could have
get
thrown
lost in the film.
They could have thrown any sport in place, but because of the tension between the characters,
For sure,
because
that
of
adds.
all the history that they build,
But what completes
the
it-
human struggle of like three hearts competing
Definitely
for
adds
something
layers.
else.
It adds
you
layers.
want accuracy, and then you don't like these guys swinging their dick in the locker room. Like
No,
that's
hey,
life, dog.
no,
That's
No,
sport.
and that's
I haven't said anything about that because I know if it's there for a reason.
but that's the thing. In other sports films, like I feel like I'm looking at the characters portraying a role and portraying genuine technique of these like players. But
And
in this one,
I think we're so obsessed, and I don't know how to feel about this anymore because even Timothy Chalamet has some notes on this. We're so obsessed with the
realism.
in the sense of even method acting because of things like what Bob De Niro did for Raging Bull, where he piles on the pasta for the latter half of the film to play older Jake LaMotta.
Right.
But he slims down and he's a boxer and I don't know that improved his performance at all. He's Bob De Niro. He's Bob De Niro.
Y'all about prosthetics now, but
He's Bob De Niro.
You never
he
got
did
me
use
down,
prosthetics
right?
for the film. That's not a secret. But again, he's placed with the right director. He's the right actor.
Yeah.
The realism kind of fades away in the background.
Yeah.
But Jake LaMotta could have been a fictional character, and I would have believed it just as much. You know what I'm saying? This is the last thing I'll say because I know we're trying to wrap up. But this is the last thing I'll say
By
about
the way,
Zendaya.
my rating's a 9.
About Zendaya.
I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, this happens all the
took
time.
you long enough.
Bullshit! It happens all the time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's a 9. Flat 9.
I blame Castro. From the bottom of my heart, it's all his fault.
I
Damn
blame
it,
myself.
Fidel.
Oh man, if only we had a producer that catches these things too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just man.
Yeah.
It's because we're making.
If only we
We're all just so
had,
Only you had two.
passionate in this
I
thing.
do what I do and
if
I do what
only
I do
we
best.
had a great script supervisor.
Call Celine. Somebody call Celine.
Oh, Celine.
Damn, man, throwing haymakers in this
How
podcast.
we wish you were here.
Throwing haymakers. She's probably the best script soupy in town.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about the focus lady.
No.
Hey, we don't talk about
That's Selena.
we don't talk about things.
Okay, yeah, my bad.
Anyways,
Yeah.
No. Anyways, this is the last thing I'll say about it. I don't know necessarily if this film's in the long conversation of cinema. I don't know where it's going
They
to sit
always
yet.
come around.
No,
baby.
hold
They
on.
always
I don't know in the
It's like
long
a circle.
in the long conversation of cinema. I don't know where this is going to sit in 20 years. I don't know yet. I don't know how this feels. I know it feels right now.
But you knew about La La Land right away, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
However, Mark my words. Talk to me in 20 years. If Zendaya doesn't come
I'll
across,
take that. I'll take that bet.
if Zendaya isn't one of the best actresses of her generation,
She can be fat, old, and
and a great actress, I don't care how much she was. She will be an Academy Award winning.
20 years.
Less than that. I think it'll take less than that.
give it 5, 6.
I don't know about challengers necessarily, but mark my words, these three, and quite specifically Zendaya, will stand the test of time as an actress. Talk to me in 20 years. I guarantee she will be one of the best actresses.
What year
of our
is
I think
generation.
I've seen enough from Mike Feist to say the same about it.
2045.
I think Mike Feist, as much as I love him, he's going to fall into a supporting character situation. He's going to be an amazing actor.
Oh, like
O'Connor has a chance.
like
Josh O'Connor.
that
Does he?
actor from Ex
I think
Machina.
he showed the
Oh,
most emotion I could see.
Domhnall Gleeson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Domhnall Gleeson was doing leads, and now he's playing sub-characters in Star Wars. And he's an amazing actor. You know what I'm saying?
The Revenant.
Yeah, terrific role in The Revenant, but he wasn't Leo's role.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These two are gonna fall into that pattern, unfortunately. Here in the Bike Riders, he was such a what a waste of talent. What a waste of fucking talent to put him in the Bike Riders in that role.
What do you want to tell the director? Pretend he's right there.
No. We're not talking about the Bike Riders. But what
I'm
a waste of,
already
but again, Spielberg used them where he fucking needed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Challenges, they used them where they needed to be. But I think in 20 years, they're going to fall into that supporting role. Zendaya won't.
Who do you think is going to be farther in the career?
Zendaya.
Timothy or Zendaya?
Zendaya.
Next
Timothy or
week.
I think
Oh,
Timothy.
then. Ooh, Timothy.
Exactly.
I don't know. They might do a few films together.
I have a question for you guys to bring it back to challengers,
Ooh, bring it back.
and this will probably be
Why does
the
it look
last
like
one.
You're
Yeah.
whispering in his ear.
Hey there.
Yeah.
Hello, brother.
That's how they were talking.
Hey there, brother.
So brother too big.
So the question is, what did you guys think of the churro scene? That's been a big one on the internet.
Okay. Wait.
talking
Hot take.
You know, there's a fun fact about that.
It was improvised.
Yeah, because he was hungry.
Hot take. I like my churros with the cajeta. That's like, yeah.
You like them filled, huh, Daddy?
Yeah, that's like the best.
Are you
I got
a
you, Will.
chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry kind
No,
of
with
guy?
cajeta, the caramel.
Cajeta.
Oh,
The
fuck.
original, man. What the fuck?
Damn. Okay, my bad, guys.
Yeah,
I
get
just
out of here,
lost
man.
my Mexican
Cream,
card.
He was
It's
born in
okay.
Georgia.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. It was an interesting scene.
Cajeta or what
No,
flavor?
the churro scene.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, that was cool. The whole biting of the churro, passing it on to him. They're sharing something. They're sharing her. Does
You
it
know
help
what the
that
churro
she's this
looks like,
caramel-colored woman and the churro's a caramel-colored
but I-
thing?
I
Or
do
was he
think-
biting into his friend's churro?
I mean, he was.
The
He was, right?
film I think survives, and the love triangle survives. That there's always a sexual tension amongst all the characters, and I think you need to have those little like moments to re-emphasize tension.
Yeah.
And the churro scene, seeing other dudes naked in the locker room, like I feel like all those help to keep that layer of there's always this sexual tension. I think
Sure.
the big reason for it is a dominance factor. You know, the guys are always talking about like a big game of like, oh yeah, I get all the girls. I'm gonna be on top in sports. I'm gonna like.
Yeah.
They're always trying to one up each other, and I feel like even in the churro scene, the whole gesture of him grabbing the other guy's churro and like biting it is almost like I'm able to be up in every possible way.
I'll
And I
toss
think-
this out there. Maybe my answer is lamer, but I think that it also is reestablishing the fact that they're that close.
Yeah. that's what I
Because
was
we've
going.
lost that. They were away from each other. He was on tour. He's doing college. It's reestablishing that they're really good friends. That they're still close to that point.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense because he does come back for Zendaya
Yeah.
for Tachi. Tachi or Tashi?
Tashi.
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 He comes
Zendaya.
back for Tashi, but
The Dunkin'
it's the
Eater.
first, the Dunkinator.
The Dunkinator.
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
you don't see him having that necessarily, and they both agree. Why makes you think I want him to be in love with me or whatever? You know, like they both agree.
Other than showing the, I believe this film has so much intentionality.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that he's hungry and that's why he's staring at this bagel sandwich. The Dunkin' Donuts choice. Do you think that plays into it?
I don't. Maybe.
Yeah.
No, I think it was genuinely an ad placement because you get a couple of those throughout the film.
Oh yeah, like Lay's and Coke and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
but
maybe.
I mean like. They call her the Dunkinator later on.
I don't think that's.
No, I think you're like Carlos said, you're trying to cinema too much.
No,
Trying to see Mama?
no. I've seen
Yeah.
Kubrick films.
Why?
you know, like-
I mean, why? Just because he's hungry for some Zendaya?
No, because I mean, like, if you look at the whole
hungry.
dunk thing and this, like, the way he infatuates over a sandwich,
know.
like, he could look like hungry, and there's other ways to express that. But I don't know what note they gave the actor on, like, the way he's supposed to look at this food. But it's more than just
I don't
I'm
know.
hungry. It's like, you know,
I wouldn't go that far.
the man wanted
The
to
man
fuck the
has
sandwich.
no
like,
money.
Yeah.
He can't get a hotel room.
dude.
And one thing I
no.
was reading that I didn't notice in the film, he wears the same shoes throughout the entire movie, no matter the time period.
Yeah. Well, the same kind of shoes.
Yeah.
The same kind of shoes.
I just
Like,
I,
this
I-
man just has no money.
no, but like I
He
think that there's-
wants a fucking breakfast sandwich. There's
Yeah.
nothing. It's like that. It's
I've
like that
never
thing when
looked at a breakfast sandwich that
It's
way.
like
And I
that
work at
thing
Never
Starbucks.
been
Like,
before, son.
Oh, bro, you never been hungry.
It's like when the teacher asks you why was the tree green, and you're like, well, it's just green because it's a tree. Like he was just staring at the sandwich because he was
okay, he
hungry.
lost me on that one.
Have you ever been so down bad you got to eat Nature Valley bars for like a week straight?
Crafty.
Yeah.
Crafty.
That's
Kool-Aid
Left
packets
over
like
mods.
that, bro.
Yeah.
hot take. I feel like when you eat a Nature Valley granola bar on set, you're at your lowest moment. Like,
You know what's sad about this entire conversation is that I guess I grew up poor, and I know I did because I like Nature Valley.
No, but on set because
Do you just
dude,
like finding
they
crumbs
dry
a
your
week later?
mouth,
Oh, yeah.
like-
Oh, that's the worst, bro.
Oh, but Nature
One
Valley
bite.
bars, like with a cup of coffee, like that balances
yeah.
out well.
Yeah, because all
Dip
the
it.
crumbs go into the coffee.
Yeah, and it's honey, and you know. It's good.
Anyways.
But you know what? That's not important. Next
Yeah.
week.
I'll go up to a 9 from an 8.9. Comfortable there.
Yeah.
Castro?
I'll go down, man.
Wow.
I'm an 8.3 to an 8.
You look like one of those guys who.
Likes
Doesn't play tennis.
Castro more so just hangs out in the locker rooms and
Yeah,
stuff.
he
you
just
know what I
likes-
mean?
No, he
Seeing
walks around the
dick
locker
swinging.
room with the napkin up.
I want it to be known.
By the way, that
Oh,
again,
by
that
the way,
sauna scene.
what does any of this
Seeing
mean?
Mike Feist's character on the upper position, looking down
How to make you feel?
at him. I mean, yeah, it's terrific.
Oh, yeah, I kind of like, I was like,
You look like one of those dudes who wouldn't kiss a dude.
good. That's what I'm going for.
Next week on the WatchTower Film Podcast, we talk about our major, or we always call it like our 3-hour episode. We're going to talk about the Best Picture nominees. Join us for that. All 10 of them. We'll have our hot take on them.
Have we already listed all of them?
I'll bring some boxing
We
gloves.
did in the live.
Yeah, but we can list them again.
ding.
Yeah. We
Conclave.
have Honora.
Hold on.
Honora the
Honora.
Brutalist. Conclave. I'm going alphabetical. That's
Wait,
cool.
wait,
See where we keep that
okay.
going. Honora the Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, Wicked, Fuck Off.
Castro, we said it until you watch it. You can't
Yeah,
say
you
anything
can't.
else.
I think he
Just the name, bro. My
Doom
bad.
Part 2.
Amelia Perez. Fuck off. Watch
it.
them all if you can, so you can engage in the conversation with
Yeah,
us.
but if you don't have time, we'll,
yeah,
we'll catch
got
you
you.
up to speed. Yeah.
After that, tune in on March 3rd again at 6 p.m. MST on Facebook, YouTube,
Penis,
TikTok, and
vaginas.
Instagram, and penis and vagina.
Do we have a date for the Oscars? Like,
March 2nd.
I thought
yeah,
it was
but
your
at
date.
what time?
I don't know.
Six-
Doesn't matter.
6
Not our
Central?
problem.
I thought
Go
we were
watch the
gonna
Oscars. You know, we
Okay,
5
I'm
p.m.
sorry.
I don't know.
Google wins the Oscars.
Yes, it's March 2nd. It's a Sunday. Whatever.
I care. I care.
5 p.m.
to 8 p.m.
Mountain Time. 5 p.m. Mountain Time.
JB,
El
take us
Paso
out.
time.
I don't know. People need to know. I need to know.
Do you? I don't see the Academy paying to promote their shit, son. I'm already. We're already giving them enough publicity.
All right. Anyways, catch us next week.
Catch us next week on the WatchTower Film Podcast.
Catch.
Thank you for tuning in tonight. Good night, everybody.
Not everybody.
Love you
Bilal,
guys.
sing the song for us.
Penis, vagina.
No, the one from the movie.
Oh, I'm sorry. Penis, vagina.